I've noticed that whenever I am thinking about my problems, or even the world in general, as things that are bigger than I am, out of my control, that it shows up in my body. My shoulders turn forward, my chest kind of caves in, my neck tightens up, and my breathing gets short and shallow. I don't even realize I'm doing it until I do. And when that happens, I know immediately what's happened, that what I'm imagining is showing up in my body. It's not the other way around. My body isn't telling me to start feeling sad or feeling sick. I'm imagining something and it's showing up in my body. And what I'm imagining is that I am small and I'm separate. And we all do that. I did that for years. I still do sometimes. I notice it more quickly now, but it still happens. But I don't beat myself up about it. I used to. When the last year and a half ago, any little mistake that I would make, I would just beat myself up, banging my head against the wall. I can't get this, I'm wrong, I'm screwing up. And so that's exactly what I kept doing, because I imagined it was hard. I imagined I was small and separate, and that this is hard. Imagining is hard. Well, it's not, because I imagined up the crap state. I imagined that easily. We're imagining all day long. But back to being small and separate. It shows up immediately in my body. And once I get out of that, get back into my chosen state and remember who I really am, my body changes. My neck loosens up, my shoulders come back, lower a little bit. Shoulders are relaxed now. Back is straighter. My breathing is deep and full. And I look good. I feel taller. But what shows up in the body is showing up because of something I imagined. It starts on the inside and shows up on the outside. Whatever the illness is, it starts with imagination. So for years I blamed my illness when I was sick. I blamed that for the mood I was in. I'm in a crappy mood. I'm suicidal, or fantasizing about things like that, about death, because of my illness. I had no idea that everything began within me. I got sick because I got sick. It starts within. And I was healed because I was healed within. It always starts within imagination. So how do we get back from small and separate, get back to the oneness, the wonder of it all? Neville calls it the first principle. It's Psalm 46:10. It's probably my favorite verse for decades. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. Just be still and know. When I first heard that, Neville Goddard talking about it, and then Mr. 2020 and other people in his group, it was like, well, be still and know. Know what? What the hell? Know what? But then just do it. That's all I can tell you. Try it. It gets easier and more fun the more you do it. Just be still. Close yourself off from the distractions, from the facts of the world or what your senses tell you. Just be still. And not with any particular plan, not with a particular scene to create something in your life. Not at the moment. Just be still. And in the beginning, I know I used to think, well, what am I going to think about? What do I think about? What do I think about? I'm thinking about this now. I'm thinking about that. Squirrel! My mind was just all over the place. And then I would beat myself up because I had read other people and listened to other people who said you have to get to the point of no thought. That's BS. Because your awareness is who you are. It's okay to have thoughts. So you're in the silence. What I learned to do, for me, I just look at the darkness. My attention is toward the darkness within. My eyes are closed. You're going to see darkness. And when I did that, when I started just noticing the darkness with my eyes closed, then I wasn't furrowing. I can't even say that. Furrowing. That's a hard one to say. Furrowing my brow. Like I'm squinting, when you're trying too hard. I noticed that my forehead relaxed, my eyes relaxed. And just get calm. And it's so peaceful and fun. Just being still in the silence. I've experienced so many wonderful things. Some amazing things. Talked to some amazing people in the silence. And that's beautiful. But you don't have to do all of that. Get in a room by yourself to be still and know. You can go straight to the first principle while you're sitting in car pickup in the afternoon in front of your kid's school, in traffic, at work. It just takes a moment. To just remember who you are. The Bible says that, Paul says that, don't you realize that Jesus Christ is in you? And then Jesus is quoted as saying that the kingdom of heaven is within you. And God is in heaven. So be still and know I am God. Test yourself. And while you're there, who do you want to be? What do you want? The kind of person you want to be. See that person right there in the silence. How does that feel? What would it feel like if I'm nailing this, if I got this, if I understand what Mike's talking about? What would that feel like? Maybe an imaginal scene, something you can imagine, maybe shooting me an email, telling me how, hey, Mike, I got it. I know what you're talking about. I've got this. Something that would indicate your wish is fulfilled. In the beginning, I did that often. 2020 in his group, they suggested that instead of worrying about not making it, not making changes happen, things happen for the big stuff, or what you think are the big stuff, go past that and imagine, what would it feel like if I am nailing my imaginal acts, if I'm dwelling in the state of my wish fulfilled? So you just do an end run around that particular, whatever it is you want. Just look at it on the whole. What would it feel like if I understood and I'm successful at this? My life is changing. Just that. What would that feel like? Oh, yeah. That's what it feels like. Shoot me an email. Seriously. Tell me what's going on. Tell me how this is working for you. That's at feelingtwisty@gmail.com, or direct message me on Instagram at feelingtwisty, or post something at the Feeling Twisty Facebook page. All kinds of goodies. All right, guys. Be still and know. Look at yourself in the reflection of the living water within you and see the person you want to be. Capture that feeling. Become that person in imagination. Open your eyes and go about your day, dwelling in that state, living in that, and thinking from it, no longer thinking of it. You no longer desire the state because you are that already. So desire is gone. This is Feeling Twisty.